Hi, my name is Sadoski. Diabetes has become a growing problem in today's society. Because of that fact, I've actually decided to do my demonstration over how to take care of a diabetic. My demonstration is going to show you 3 key factors. The first being how to calculate the carb intake. The third being how to calculate the blood sugar level. And the third being actually administering the insulin. Like I just mentioned, the first thing we have to do is we have to calculate the amount of carbohydrates that a diabetic would intake. At this point, I'd like to introduce my daughter Savannah. Savannah is actually a type 1 diabetic. She has to take an insulin shot for every carbohydrate that she intakes, whether it be through liquid or through foods. Tonight, she's decided that she wanted a bowl of cereal for dinner. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to look on the nutritional facts and look for carbohydrates. Carbs are really the only thing that we're worried about because insulin acts on carbs. It helps break it down. So that's actually what the insulin that she'll receive will do. The total carbs of the milk is going to be 12 grams. And the total carbs for the cereal is going to be 28 grams. So combined, that's going to equal 40 grams. She's on a 30-to-1 ratio, which means that she'll take 1 unit of insulin per 30 carbs. We're just barely over 30 carbs, so I'm going to go ahead and give her one unit for this. Now we're going to have to check her blood sugar just to make sure that she's running normal right now. You know, just in case I have to give her a correction. If she's running crazy numbers up in the 300, then typically I would have to give her a correction, which is on a sliding scale. We're not going to get into that today, though. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking an ordinary alcohol swab, and I'm going to clean her pinky finger. I typically use the pinky finger because it'll have less callus than the rest of the hand could. Now this is called a lancer. What the lancer will do is it'll actually prick her finger and give us the drop of blood that we use for the tester. This is the dial on the lancer. It's set at 3 right now, which is just right for Savannah. But if it was for myself, I have thicker skin than she would, I would have to turn the dial up to as high as it would go, and that would be 5.5. So like I mentioned, 3 is about right for Savannah. We'll click the end in to give us a new needle. The yellow will come into the button, and once that happens, it knows that we're ready to go. I'll place the end on her finger, not really putting any pressure on it, but just hold it on her finger, hit the button in, and that'll get her bleeding. And what we'll have to do is we'll actually have to get a good little amount of blood on her finger, because if there's not enough blood, it'll throw error on the tester. Now this is just a basic AccuCheck tester. Most diabetics run with a pretty similar unit to this. Just take a regular test strip. It'll have kind of a computer chip looking deal on the end of it. We'll slide that into the tester, and the tester will automatically come on and start calibrating to 0. Now Savannah's range that her doctor gave her, she's actually going to be between 70 and 120 is a good blood sugar range for her. Other diabetics, they might be on a different level, but that's determined by the doctor. We'll place the blood to the tip of the test strip, and now we'll just wait for it to calculate. Okay, she's right at 120 right now, so she's running perfect. Now what we're going to have to do, like I said, she's on a 1 to 30 carb ratio, so we're only going to give her 1 unit for the meal that she's about to consume. First things first, take the cap off, and this is the insulin Nova log that we're going to give to her. With this, we're going to tilt the bottle upside down, insert the needle, and it has a marker on the needle for how many units of insulin it's going to be. And I'm actually going to pull it back past 1, and I'm going to push it back in before we get to 1. That way I make sure to get all the bubbles out. Okay, now that we have 1 unit, The best place, normally the easiest to get to, will be the back of the arm. There's a little more fat tissue there. It'll hurt less. I'll insert the needle. Wait 5 seconds. Push it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove the needle. Put the cap back on to assure that I don't hurt myself. And that's basically all that we'll have to do with this. So I hope that you learned from my demonstration the 3 key points. I hope you learned how to calculate how many carbs she needs. I hope you learned how to test her blood sugar level, and I hope that you learned how to give her insulin. Thank you.